What do you think of when you look at the sky?
How insignificant I really am in such a vast universe. You know, the Chinese reduced everything to the two universal principles of yin and yang. Everything was spoken in terms of each other because all was one and one was all.
How can you say that when my world is in chaos?
But chaos comes from within. Yin cannot exist without yang, for yang creates yin, and yin activates yang. Take this blade of grass. As it grows actively, it is yang, yet once it is plucked, it is yin, for the grass now enters its passive stage. Most of the time, yang is harder, faster, stronger, brighter, and yin acts as the perfect complement to it.
So everything I see is produced by fusion of these two forces?
According to the Chinese, yes. Heaven is represented by yin, and the earth is represented by yang. By learning Tao, the way of life, we learn to not fight against the earth's natural flow, but instead to flourish and live our life with simplicity.
So, wait, what is this Tao, this way of living our lives?
Well, what are you thinking of right now?
That the force of yang is consuming everything I once knew. When I'm with others, I can't be myself. No one seems to understand what I'm going through.
There was nothing you could have done. When out of balance, yin and yang can eventually consume the other, causing disorientation in both our minds and soul. Think of this as a seesaw. We can't have too much weight on one side now, can we? Try stepping out of the past. Describe to me what you feel and sense at this very moment.
There's warmth on my face. I hear bicycles and footsteps. Children's voices. They're happy. They're smiling.
How do you know they're smiling?
I can feel it.
You can't see them though, can you?
You don't always have to see things to know they're near you.
Seems like you're finally approaching the Chinese standards.
Of what? A++? It's as if I'm looking for something. Evidence? Some record of your existence? After all, didn't the Chinese refer to the past because they saw the history of events as the unfolding and functional of its external principles?
It wasn't just histories they sought knowledge from. Much of their views can be found in the ancient Chinese classics they called Qing, because the principles remain relatively the same. These became the foundation stones of Chinese epistemology. After all, Chinese sought knowledge through a critique of the language and its communicated meaning. All of this was checked by their critique of history, of the kings and the queens that existed in ancient China.
They sure liked validating everything through human affairs, eh?
Well, since they believe that natural laws cover all events had moral character. They exist for humans to cultivate morality. You know, everything happens for a reason.
Even events are considered evil? Even when they end another person's life due to their own recklessness?
Well, the balance of an individual and his societal responsibilities was supposed to be kept intact by the family. The Chinese placed great importance on creating harmony with the family, as the highest ethical goal was to obtain humanity, a higher sense of knowledge.
How can they ever acquire knowledge then, if morality is connected with knowledge?
Well, to them, good and evil were natural principles. What was thought to be evil wasn't originally evil to begin with, but, something good.
There seems to be a big focus on humanism in Chinese epistemology. So what you're saying is that if humans are able to thoroughly investigate things with a sincerity of will and a personal moral integrity, knowledge will follow.
You said that the Chinese revolved around Tao, the origin and truth of all things. But what truth is there for things that cannot be justified? How is your death justified?
You've been so caught up with justifying my death that you've forgotten that it's justified true belief. You saw my body in the morgue. You know that I am dead. The only thing is that you don't believe it. You don't believe your own ability to acquire knowledge anymore. You don't even believe in your own senses and perception. I mean, you're talking to a hallucination, for goodness sake.
I don't know what to believe now. Can I possess knowledge without belief?
But belief never left you. What you should be taking away from my death isn't a loss of knowledge, but awareness of what it means to be human. Let your mind perceive things as they are, for only through experience can you learn.
And somehow it all ended up back to Indian epistemology. Experience and my perception would become my knowledge, and it'd be building upon my a priori knowledge from my previous lives. In Chinese epistemology, as long as I lived my life with good moral character, I would be able to continue connecting with yin and yang forces, and I would be able to continue to perceive. Can we play one last game?
One. Found you.